everybody. John here. We'll be doing some power hour. This class is called Release Your Binds. We'll be starting in a few minutes, so thanks for joining. We'll start in mountain pose, so I invite you to come to a standing position near the top of your mat. We'll just take a few moments here in stillness as we prepare ourselves for our moving practice today. Take these moments to fully arrive. So first you might just notice your mat underneath you, the texture of your mat underneath your feet. Even grip your mat with your toes a couple times. And just notice that the ground is underneath you. And just settle in. And to help that settling, take a few deep breaths. You might breathe in deeply through your nose. And then exhale completely through your nose or out through your mouth. Yeah, you might even feel that softening of the body. That settling in nature of the body. Good. And you can just continue with slow, steady breaths. You're welcome to keep your eyes open. So if your eyes are opened, maybe you're just gazing forward or slightly downward at the ground, not really looking at anything. Or you might close your eyes, moving inward. Just taking the time to fully connect, be fully present. It's also a nice time for you to bring an intention to mind and your heart. If there's something that you're working on personally, something you're working through personally. Maybe there's something that you're needing for yourself or someone else. Maybe there's something you want to share. Your heart is full, and maybe your yoga practice today will just help you to share that part of self. Our practice today will focus on binds. So if there's anything that might be kind of holding you back from that self-expression, or even holding you back from being able to receive what you're needing, perhaps we can use this practice to help let go, release those binds. Take 3 more slow, deep breaths. Using these breaths to prepare your body to move. Good. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. You might even just treat it like a nice stretch. Yeah, reach all the way up. Good. And exhale, we'll fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. You might bend your knees quite a bit as you carefully fold, make your way down, maybe touching your toes, and of course you don't have to touch your toes. Then inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees and extend your spine, a long flat back, a little tabletop feeling. Then exhale, melt your way back down into a forward fold. We're going to hold here for a little bit. And again, you can bend your knees enough to touch your toes, or maybe you're just doing a partial fold where your hands are maybe just resting just below the knees or down near your ankles. Just being aware of how this feels for you in your legs, maybe even your back. If you're able, maybe hang heavily forward and just release. A little shake of the shoulders or circles with your shoulders. You might roll them backward a few times, then forward. Gentle shake of your head. You might nod yes, shake your head no. Maybe a little sway of your upper body, left and right. Again, just kind of checking in with those binds in the body that you can let go right here. Let's do another spinal extension. So you inhale, slide your hands up the shins a bit, extending through your spine, allowing the crown of your head to lead you forward. Exhale, fold again. Brief pause. Then a weight shift into your heels. Bend your knees. I feel like you're going to sit down into a low chair. Look forward, then extend your arms out to the side like you're spreading your wings, yeah. Then inhale and reach up, right up to the sky. Then exhale, bring your arms down by your side or even hands to heart center, either one. Just hold here for a moment, returning to that nice strong straight line in the body. Another breath or two. Just go through that same sequence one more time. Here we go. Inhale, reaching out and up, energy through your fingertips. Exhale, leading with your heart as you fold forward with soft knees, taking your time, never needing to rush at all. Inhale, lifting up halfway or just feel a nice extended spine right here. Exhale, fold, nice melting feeling. Complete release if that feels okay. Shifting weight into your heels, bend your knees, look forward, spread your wings, then inhale. Let's come all the way back up to standing. Reach up a bit higher as you're able. Exhale, arms to your side or hands to heart center, either one. Nice. Again, just come back to stillness. Find your breath. We'll continue with our full Sun Salutation, moving at your own pace. Inhale and sweep the arms out and up, reaching high. And exhale, fold forward. Just a good hinge from the hips, making your way down towards toes. There it is. Inhale, let's rise up halfway or just feel that extended spine. Perfect. Exhale, fold and bend, getting low enough. Take your time. So you can place your hands on the mat in front of you and just start walking both of your feet back to the back end of your mat until we're in that high push-up position or plank pose right here. Once here, breathe in, even feel the body get a little longer, and exhale, bend your knees a little, then send your hips up into the air. This should guide you right away into downward facing dog. And then you might want to step into place, meaning you might need to adjust your feet on your mat, adjust your hands on your mat, so you feel good right here. You don't feel like you're going to slip or lose balance, but you have arrived here now. Take your time. Settle into breathing. You might just hold in stillness as you connect to breath in the pose. But feel free to move here as well. So you might pedal your feet, pressing one heel down and the other. Yeah, a little sway or swivel of the hips, bending the knees, whatever feels right. Good. Let's take a full breath in. Prepare your body to move. Exhale completely. You can breathe out through the mouth if you'd like. Then walk, step, or hop both feet right up to the top of your mat until you're in forward fold once again. Inhale, just lift up halfway. I'll call it monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Again, that weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, coming all the way up, reaching into the skyward. And keep this moving. Go right into chair pose or a chair-like position. Just sitting back and down to that imaginary seat. Yeah, a weight shift of the hips to the back side of the mat there. Inhale. Good. Exhale, let's dive out of the seat, down towards toes, forward fold. Moving at your own pace. Inhale, lifting up halfway, extended spine, monkey pose. Exhale, bent knees, getting low enough to place hands on your mat in front of you, walk, step, or even hop both feet back into plank pose. It's like the first time. You're welcome with your exhale to move right into downward facing dog, that shortcut, which you can do anytime. Or exhale, finish your push-up, come down to Chaturanga Dandasana, bending the elbows. Good, coming down. Inhale to a back bend. It might be a cobra pose, upward facing dog, or some variation. Then exhale onto your toes, lifting knees, then hips up into the air, downward facing dog. And go ahead and take a second or two to kind of step into place, arrive in your pose. We'll continue the flow here and inhale to extend right leg up, reaching back for the back wall. There, exhale, let's bring right foot to the top of the mat for the lunge. So right foot lands near right hand. Left heel will turn to the floor behind you. And if you can, shift some good weight in that back foot. So it's well planted, you feel balanced. Extend your torso long out over your front leg. Then inhale, hinge from hips, rising up, reaching into the air, warrior one. We'll exhale, hinge and fold. Bring the hands back down to the mat in front. Plant the hands. Let's slide right foot back to meet the other plank pose. Again, the shortcut to down dog's fine, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to your back bend. Cobra, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. When you're ready to move, inhale, extend the left leg up, reaching back energetically for the back wall. And your exhale to bring left foot to the top of the mat. Yeah, just pick up the foot and place it there if you need to, or wiggle the toes forward. Then plant that right heel into the ground behind you. Find that balance, long torso. Here we go. Inhale, rising up, reaching into the sky, warrior one. Exhale, hinge and fold. Bring the hands back down to the ground. Let's step back into plank pose, finishing your sequence as you'd like. If you come down to chaturanga, maybe the elbows squeeze in towards ribs, lowering your way down. Good. Sphinx, up dog, cobra. Right into downward facing dog, and we'll all meet there. Okay, we're going to go down to the floor here, so you can kneel down. We're going to take a seat, so you can just kneel down, take a seat. You want to sit in the center of your mat. Go ahead and lie down onto your back. We're going to move into bridge pose, and you're welcome to use a prop. If you happen to have a block, you can use a block for this if you'd like. But to start, just lie down with knees bent and feet flat on the ground. And just settle in for a moment. Maybe a few breaths just to feel this nice connection to the ground. Deep breaths. Even a return to your intention that you've set. Good. When you're ready to move, and inhale just to fill up your lungs. Bringing energy to the body. Exhale, draw navel to spine, nice core engagement, and then lift hips away from the ground. Just a little peeling away from the ground. And once you've lifted, you might need to adjust a little bit. Adjust your feet, adjust your legs, maybe even your arms. Alrighty. What you could do here, if it feels all right, is if your arms are just flat on the floor, maybe turn the palms up, which will create an outer spiral, outer rotation of the arms. And that might even allow you to get your shoulders and arms a bit underneath you. So you might need to kind of rock left and right a little bit. There you go. Getting the arms underneath. You can stay like that, or even bend your elbows at 90 degrees where your fingertips are reaching for the ceiling. That's it. And then just press down into the ground with your elbows and triceps and see if that helps to stabilize the upper body or even lift you a little higher. Okay, good. So we're just really opening this whole front side of the body. This heart opener, bridge pose. Good job. Yeah, deep breathing. See if you can kind of fill the very top of the lungs. 2 more breaths. Nice. After that second breath, you're going to wiggle your feet forward a little bit. Extend your arms straight up into the air. We're just making space so you can get out of your pose, and then slowly roll your way back down to the earth. Make that connection. If you'd like, you can extend your legs out front, reach your arms behind you, another straight line in the body, and just reach in these opposite directions. Nice stretch feeling. Good. Once you've got that extension there, go ahead and hug knees into chest. Feel free to rock left and right a few times, a little massage for your back. And then eventually start rocking forward and back. Enough momentum, a good breath, to help rock your way up to seated so you can make your way to boat pose. So boat, lots of ways you can be in boat. So here I've got my knees bent, feet flexed. You can even point your toes, just something active in the feet. You can hold on to the bent legs here, holding on so you can extend and lift up through the spine as you're leaning back, creating this V shape in the body. We're inhaling to get that extension, getting longer. Breath rising to fill up the lungs, exhaling. You can breathe out through the mouth if you'd like. Yeah. Engaging your core. You can hold on, you can release, you can hold on again. Okay, we're going to move. Breathing in here. And exhale, let's cross legs, either hands in front to hop or step back into plank, or even just arms or hands to the side. I'm just going to swing the feet back, just step back, just make your way back into plank pose. Hold in the strong straight line. And then we'll all just take a shortcut to downward facing dog. Stepping into place. Let's continue with the lunge sequence. Go ahead and inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Let's open this up. Go ahead and bend your knee. Bring your heel down toward your backside a little bit. There you go. And that lifting of the knee, it doesn't have to lift high. Yeah, it creates an automatic little twist or rotation in the spine. It opens the hips there. Take another breath in. Then your exhale to unwind and step the right foot to the top of the mat for the lunge. You'll turn left heel to the ground when you're ready. Yes. Good, strong connection. Long spine. We'll inhale, rise up, warrior one. And your exhale, let's go ahead and open it to a warrior two, just opening to your left side of the room. Yeah, that left heel can come down to the floor behind you so you feel secure there. Nice knee bend, nice lunge, tall torso. Yes. Energetic arms, perfect. And then side angle. So we're going to reach out with the right arm to angle the upper half of the body and then rotate the arms. Good. Lots of ways you can be here as well, and I'm already seeing it. So the right arm could be straight. It could just be braced on the inner leg right there. You might be low enough where your fingers can touch the ground or a block. You don't have to go down that low, of course. Or you might be much up higher where your arm is bent and resting lightly on the thigh. That's perfect. Stay here, but you're going to bring your left hand down behind you to your low back. To your low back if you can reach. Okay. So low back will kind of be our default space right there. You might be able to reach all the way around to touch right hip or thigh. Or if that's too far, even just keep left hand on left hip. Wherever it is, see if you can just create a few circles. You have some motion in your shoulder and create a few circles there. And then just hold it back. A nice opening for the heart and chest space. A couple more breaths. Nice. And then we're going to inhale, re-extend left hand up into the air. And exhale, turn. Let's bring hands down to the floor in front. Go ahead and step back into plank pose. Hold there for a few seconds. Nice strong body. Then eventually another shortcut to downward facing dog. Soft knees, hips into the sky. Yep, stepping into place. Whenever you're ready, inhale, extend left leg into the air. We're going to bend the knee, bring heel down towards backside a bit. That slight lift of the knee will create that twist, a little rotation. Opening of the hip. Perfect. Another breath in, ready to move. Exhale to unwind and bring left foot to the top of the mat for the lunge. Once landed, turn right heel to the ground. Behind you, strong foundation, long torso, then hinge from hips. Rising up when you're ready, warrior one. And your exhale to warrior two. Opening to the right side of the room. Make some adjustments with your feet underneath you if you need to for good balance. Left knee and toes are pointing forward. Strong, long arms. Then our side angle pose, reaching out, angled upper body, rotate arms. And again, those same formations you can create here as you may have done on the other side. Or this side might feel very different, and you might do something very different. Maybe this side, oh, I can reach the ground. This feels fine. Or, no, this side I think I need to be up a little higher. Okay, just listening to what your body needs. Here, just bring your right hand down behind you to low back as our default space or placement, or around the body. Maybe you can touch your left hip or thigh with the fingers, or if that's a little too far, right hand to right hip. If you have some mobility in the shoulder, can you create some circles? Yes, with that shoulder a few times, and then just holding it back. You might even feel a little bit in the back body. You know, your back muscles engage a little bit when you do that. But also think of this as a heart opener. Good. Even though it's not a back bend per se, we can still consider it a heart opener. All right, let's inhale, re-extend right hand straight up into the air. We'll turn now, bringing hands down to the floor. Step back, plank pose. Feel free to take your shortcut to down dog or chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, perhaps upward facing dog. Nice long legs, pointed toes behind you. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale here. And exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Nice complete release. Another weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, coming all the way up, reaching into the air. Good. Exhale, hands to heart or arms down by your side. Taking a moment here. All righty. We're going to move into some balance. We're going to do two balancing poses. We'll start with tree pose. Okay, so here you're going to start by shifting weight into your right foot. Yeah, feel free to do this actually on the floor. If you need more support, even go over to a wall. Certainly stand by a wall. If you need a little extra support, that's fine. But again, shifting weight into right foot, a nice planted feeling there. Inhale and get long through the spine, breath rising. Exhale, connect to core, preparing you to peel the left foot up off the ground. Be a flexed foot to keep the leg strong. Maybe thigh comes to parallel and swing the knee out to the side there, yeah. And we'll place foot on the inside of the standing leg. I always default to my calf. I always go there, but you can always bring it up higher, above the knee to inner thigh. You might even go lower. If you don't have the wall next to you, use the floor. Okay, just you have your toes on the ground. I'm gonna get down so I'm out of your eye line there. When you're ready, an inhale to extend arms up into the air. Good extension, reaching feeling. Torso is lifting. You even imagine it's lifting out of the pelvis a little bit. Creates a little bit more opening in the hips. Your left knee might point a little bit more. Check in. It might point a little bit more towards the left side. Your focus is forward or slightly downward. Keep your arms in the air. Swing the left knee forward, lifting knee with a flexed foot. Now go ahead and place the foot on the ground, hands to heart or arms down by your side. I like to finish the sequence with a little, let it all go. You're done with that. Let it go. So shake it out. Nice. And just return to your mountain pose, balanced on 2 feet. Keep a little softness in the knees. Just check in with knees. I know sometimes I tend to lock my own legs standing in mountain pose. So a little softness there. Shifting weight now into left foot. Plant it. Nice and tall with an inhale. Exhale, core connection. We'll peel right foot up off the floor. Good, maybe a flexed foot, thigh parallel to the ground. We'll swing the knee out to the side. There it is, good. And maybe placing foot on the inner thigh or down below the knee at calf. Use the ground if you need to. So toes on the floor. Heel is just kind of propped up above the ankle. Once you're in place there, and inhale to extend your arms right up into the air. They might swing out and up. They might go straight up. Might be an angle. You can even bend elbows. You can even bring hands to heart. Drishti, that's your focus. Drishti or dristi. Focusing forward. Now it's hard to focus on something that's blank, like a white wall that might be in front of you. So you might just dart your eyes downward so you're looking at something that has color or texture. Find your breath. These are all your resources for balance, connection. Good. Let's keep arms extended. We'll swing right knee forward now, lifting knee with a flexed foot. Plant the foot into the ground, hands to heart, or down by your side. Once you've completed it, shake it out. Okay. So that's our first set of balancing. We have another set right here. So once you've kind of finished shaking all that out, mountain pose. Okay, we're going to go to eagle pose, and some variations of this too. So we're going to inhale. Let's start with the arms. Take the arms out and up. Reaching into the sky. You're going to exhale, slowly bring the arms down, slowly. So you can pay attention to your left hand and arm. Bring it down. Bring the arms in front of you. Your left arm is going to come down and behind the right, crossing at your elbows. Yeah. And then spin your palms forward or up. And then bend the elbows so your arms are here. And then start wrapping up your arms if you're able. If they don't wrap, that's okay. Maybe your arms just stay crossed. You can even kind of hook fingers or thumbs or something, okay, if they don't wrap all the way. Okay, then a little bend in the knees. A little bend in the knees, then shift weight into right foot, plug it into the ground. Exhale to draw belly in, core connection, so you can pick up the left foot, cross that left leg entirely over the right. Okay, now my foot just kind of hangs there, so I like to activate the foot by pointing the toes or flexing the foot, either one. Some of you might be able to reach or wrap the foot around the calf or ankle area. Or again, if you need more balance, just get the toes on the ground. Okay, staying here, you might lift the elbows, if you can, just lift the elbows slightly. There's going to be a different sensation in the shoulders. And then see if you can send your elbows forward. Yes. Take a big breath into your back body because you've broadened your back. Exhale here. Yeah, we're holding this for a long time here. All right, to get out, we're going to uncross the legs first, plant the feet so you have a good foundation. Let's unwrap the arms out and up. Reach into the air. Take this in slow motion because we're going to go right away to the other side. Slowly bring the arms back down, paying attention to the right arm. Bring it down and behind or underneath the left, crossing at the elbows, make an X. Flip the palms up, lift or bend the elbows, wrap it up as you're able. Little bend of the knees. Shifting weight into left foot now. Core connection with an exhale. Let's pick up the right foot, cross that leg entirely over the other. Okay? Entirely over the other. We're just trying to kind of close the gap here. Just good squeezing sensation here. So this is a bind. I like to consider this pose a binding position. You're all wrapped up. Okay? And you even lost some vision. Okay? You got this obstacle right in your face. Lifting elbows a little bit, send the elbows forward, breathe into back body, broaden the back. Squeeze the legs a tiny bit tighter. Now we'll release it, uncross. Okay, step the foot down, balance on 2 feet, unwrap the arms. We're going to flow from here. So reach out, reach up. Take your time with this if you need to. And exhale, swan dive forward. Nicely done. Inhale, monkey pose. We're going to flow here. Exhale, fold and bend, hands to the floor. Hop or step back into plank pose. Come right down if you'd like, Chaturanga Dandasana. Or some variation of your vinyasa, your flow. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Once you're in place here in down dog, inhale, extend right leg up. We'll bend and twist just to open it up. Unwind and step through. So right foot to the top of the mat here. For the lunge, warrior one. Left heel turns to the ground. Rise when you're ready. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Settling in, maybe taking the feet a little bit farther apart, if only if that feels okay. So you're lunging a little deeper, more sensation. Then our side angle, reaching out, maybe reaching out a bit more. Rotate arms, right hand down, left hand up initially. Maybe a breath in just to expand and open through the chest. The exhale, bring left hand down behind you. Okay, just like we did before. Now, you can stay just like this, okay? Each time we come back to this pose, because we certainly will be coming back to this pose. But if you are low enough, meaning your right arm is low enough where your elbow is below the hamstring perhaps, you might be able to bend that right elbow and then reach up and maybe find your left hand. And it's okay if you can't, okay? But maybe the fingers touch or they're just reaching for each other. But some of you might be able to kind of hook some fingers, creating another bind, okay? If you happen to have a prop, you might have a belt or a strap or even a small hand towel or something to kind of connect. Yeah, they're all correct. Very nice. There's our bind. Even with your left hand just behind you on low back. We're going to inhale to release the bind, extend the arms floor to ceiling. That's the release of the bind. Turn, bring hands to the floor, step back, plank pose. Finish the sequence as you'd like. Meeting in downward facing dog. There you go. Take your time. Even as I give faster instruction, doesn't mean you have to go that fast, okay? Always going at your own pace. Inhale, extending left leg into the air, bend and twist open. Okay, and you're just going to unwind it so you can step through. Warrior one, landing up top, right heel to the ground, balanced. Inhales, rising up when it's time. Exhale, here's our opening to warrior two. Maybe more distance between the feet. Okay, it's going to create a deeper lunge, which might allow you that left arm eventually to get down lower in our side angle. And that's where we're headed now. Reaching out, angled upper body, rotate arms. First, just a breath in, just to expand and open for the heart opener. Exhale, right hand down behind you. I'm going to call that first bind, okay? Because that's the perfect place to be if you want to stay just like this for the bind. Or try that second bind, where you're low enough, the left arm can actually bend and reach underneath the left leg and reach up to find right hand or fingers, even if they don't touch, Good. Notice, feel what's happening. It's a pretty dynamic pose for sure. Even imagining the bind that you want to release, and let's release it here. Extend the arms floor to ceiling, opening up. Turn, let's bring the hands down to the ground. Step back into plank pose. Nice strong straight line. Finish your sequence as you'd like. A return to downward facing dog. Okay, hold there for a couple seconds in down dog. Just a nice extension of spine. Strong hands, arms. All right. Then inhale, extend right leg up behind you to keep it straight and strong. Exhale, bring right foot to the top of the mat. We're going to stay just like this in this runner's lunge. Actually, what you're going to do is bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot if it's not there already. And you might want to heel toe your right foot off to the right side a little bit so you have more space for your hands. Hold here for a couple more seconds. And then gently set the left knee onto the ground. If you want to pad your knee, please feel free. If you've got a towel or a pillow or even fold your mat just to pad the knee, you can do that. Now, this could be the end of the pose. We're just going to take this into a deeper lunge, okay? So you can stay just like this. Just root firmly into the floor with the hands. Feel like you're coming forward. Even look forward and try to come this way. and that might automatically sink the hips a little bit. And that might be just enough sensation that you want right here, okay? Otherwise, you might step the hands forward a little bit, start bending elbows, and start lowering your way down towards the ground. You never have to get all the way down. If you have a block or some other object or prop, maybe just kind of prop yourself up on a block or a pillow. And just find the sensation of the deep lunge. This will certainly affect both legs. So you have the left leg extended out behind you, so a nice hip flexor stretch and release perhaps. Get that right knee bend and you're kind of lunging and sinking right onto the inside of it. So maybe sensation, stretch and release there. Yeah, there you go. Yep, use those props as you need to. And sometimes, you know, even though we're holding this posture, and we don't know how long we might be holding the posture, you know, sometimes there can be a time limit on how long your particular body can hold a pose. And I say honor that. If you feel like, okay, I've been here long enough, go ahead and ease out of it or soften it up if you need to. Okay, so we're going to be here for another 15 minutes. No, no, we won't do that. Yes, good point. Squeezing to center. So even though the legs are kind of, you're almost in the splits here, there's still kind of a hugging in to center with both legs, even your arms, okay? If both arms have made it to the ground, maybe the little hugging in feeling, it's just another way of stabilizing the body. Okay, one more breath in and out, and we'll start to get out of it. Alrighty, take your time because this is deep and it's a lot of sensation. So if you made it down to your elbows, okay, just straightening your arms, come back up onto your hands. You might heel toe that right foot back in if it went way out there, okay? Tuck toes behind you, move your props, okay? Then turn left heel to the floor behind you. A little weight shift back there, maybe re-extend torso long out over right thigh. Just rising to a warrior one, that's all. Whenever you're ready to move, rising warrior one. Then just exhale, fold again. Just bring your hands back down, step back, plank for a moment, and then a shortcut to down dog. That's it. Same thing other side. So an inhale to extend left leg into the air. There it is. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, going for our runner's lunge. So left foot comes forward, we're staying there, but you're bringing left hand to the inside of the left foot. Maybe heel toe left foot out to the left side. I give that instruction because I think it just gives your body, your pelvis, especially in your torso, a little bit more space, especially if you want to get deep into this lunge. Okay? Go ahead and gently set the right knee onto the floor, pat it if you need to. Press hands into the floor, look forward, feel like you're coming forward, feel that little sinking sensation in the hips. This is your nice starting point. This also could be your ending point. You can stay just like this. Or you might step the hands forward. That's going to allow you to start bending elbows. Even if you just stay just like that, just bending elbows a little bit. Or you brought in your props. Bring the forearms down either to the blocks or down to the ground if it reaches, if they reach. And again, if that left foot is way out to the side, and at least for me, gives me a lot more space to even get my elbows closer to the ground. If my foot was really way in, I feel kind of bound up and I don't have the space to get to that depth. So you're creating space. Okay. So a little bit of an opposite or even complementary, I guess you can say, to, you know, being bound. It's like, well, what's the opposite of that? Well, having space. You can see. Good. Noticing the sensation in the right hip flexor, left inner thigh. Softening if you need to, but a few more breaths before we complete it. Let's say 3 more right here. Again, it's a deep sensation, so moving out of it, take your time, go slowly. Come back up onto the hands, start to lift your upper body, Heel toe the left foot back in. Tuck toes so you can lift that right knee. Pivot right heel to the floor, shifting weight back so there's balance. Elongate your torso out over the thigh. Then an inhale to rise to warrior one. And we're just hinging and folding, bringing hands back down to the floor, step back, plank pose. And then again, setting the knees onto the floor, and as you're able, sit back into hero pose, okay? Now we're gonna hold here, but if this isn't comfortable for you, because this isn't comfortable for everybody, if you need to, use a block, someone's using a block. If you need something between the feet to sit up on, okay, perfect. Because this is a lot of stretch and pull in the knee area, a lot of stretch in that ankle. So if you need to, just sit. You can just take a regular seat, okay? Because I'm going to demonstrate something here. Okay, just watch. So after your pose there, we'll return to down dog. We're going to exhale and hop forward. So we're going to hop forward, landing with the feet wide, toes turned out, knees bent, and you're going to take a seat right here. I'm going to call this Yogi Squat, okay? Dropping down. So if you need balance or something to sit on, grab a block, and I can even grab you one. So sit on the block so you have a little bit more balance back there, okay? If this is too low, okay, because your knees just don't bend, okay? Staying up high like this is perfect, just like this, okay? And wherever you are, if you're high or low, sitting on the block or just kind of holding in stillness here, you're going to bring hands to heart, and just the elbows or arms, just on the inner legs there, just get a little press to open, okay? That'll stretch hand palms at the heart center and help extend spine, because you might find, I know for me, I feel like I'm just going to melt and just sink into my own body. So a little press here, elongate right there. We'll hold this for a bit, okay? Coming out of this pose, let me turn this way. Coming out of this pose, okay, just play with this. It might be crow pose. It doesn't have to be the full crow. So hands to the floor out in front, lift the heels, lean forward, bend the elbows, and kind of tip. This could be the end. This could be your crow pose today, okay, your arm balancing posture. If you want to go for it, just keep sending the weight forward, tip, and get those toes in the air. And we'll set it back down, and literally we'll just step back into plank, just kind of get into place, okay? All righty. So coming out of our hero, let's come to downward facing dog. All right, have a block nearby if you want to use a block for that little seat. All righty. So with an exhale, whenever you're ready, you're going to hop forward, landing with your feet wide. They might even land off the mat, toes turned out, knees bent. Just take your seat in the little squat there, staying up high if you need to, going down low if you're able. Yes, okay if the heels lift. Yeah, you can be on your toes. That's fine. Right there if you can balance. Okay, arms on the inner legs, little push out, palms at heart center. Help to extend through spine. Yes, perfect, just like that. Good. Okay, we're going to add on to this. Okay, so we're in our Yogi Squat here. We're kind of lean a little bit or shift over to right side a little bit there. Extending the arms like this, kind of at an angle. Left hand up, right arm down. Now this right arm, as you're able, spin the palm so it's reaching to the back of the room. If you can you wrap the arm around the shin? And then the left hand's going to come down to low back, or maybe you can hook some fingers back there. So another bind. It's okay if they don't reach, no worries, okay? You're still creating a bind just by starting to wrap that arm around the leg there. You're going to open it back up, hands to heart, come back to center, shift to left side, same thing, extend this left arm, spin the palm back, wrap it around the shin if you're able, right hand behind you. I call this half garland. Half because full garland would be, you would be doing this both arms around both legs at the same time. Yeah, and reach and hook your fingers behind you. Go for it, Beth, go ahead. Yes, okay, let's release, come back to center. That's a lot on the legs, isn't it? Okay. All right, our crow, hands out in front, lean into the hands,
Rise up onto tiptoes, lean into the hands, let the elbows bend. Your legs will kind of lay heavy on the arms. That can be your pose, okay? If you want to go a little further, just kind of push forward, okay? And then let the head tip down, hips and toes lift. There you go. And then you can just set the toes back down and step back, or if you can, hop back, kind of jumping out of that crow pose into plank pose. Plank, nicely done. Good. And come down, Chaturanga Dandasana.
Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. We're going to come back up to standing. So jump, step, or walk both feet up to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale, monkey pose once you're there. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come up to standing, reaching into the sky. Good. And exhale, arms down by your side. All righty. Yeah, shake that all loose. Check in with the body. How you doing? All righty. So we're going to start with our eagle pose, okay? And we're going to be flowing out of eagle into the next posture, okay? So we'll start with our eagle. So we're going to inhale, take the arms out and up. Exhale, arms coming down, paying attention to left arm. We're going to bring it down or behind the right, crossing at the elbows there. Flip the palms up, reach up, wrap it up. Okay? So that's our arms. Little bend of the elbow. I'm sorry, bend of the knees. Sorry, bend your knees. Shifting weight into the right foot. Core connection. Exhaling. Pick up left foot, cross left leg entirely over right. Left over right. That's it. Okay, squeeze. Okay, we're squeezing legs a little tighter. Squeezing arms a little tighter, pull belly in a little tighter. Here's our little obstacle. Bind. All righty. This is how we're going to get out of the pose. We're going to start with the leg. You're going to watch me first. I'm going to uncross and step back with the left foot. Go ahead and step back, left foot to the back end of your mat. Then unwrap the arms, opening up to a warrior two. Yes, you'll be in a warrior two position. Okay, let's reverse the warrior. Just to kind of open this up a little bit. Right hand up. Little stretch, and then side angle, right hand down, left hand up into the air. Okay, let's go to that first bind where left hand comes down behind you. Stay there for a second. Stay here or go to second bind. Okay, getting a little lower. Right arm bends. Reach underneath that right leg. Find left fingers. Good. That's it. Feel this. Inhale to release the bind, extend arms floor to ceiling. Good, turn, bring hands to the floor. We're stepping back into plank pose. Stay in plank for a moment. Shortcut down dog, bend the knees, hips into the sky. Yogi squat, so you're hopping forward, landing with the feet wide, knees bent. Drop the hips, take the seat. Arms on the inner legs, a little push, hands to prayer, extending spine, hip opener. Shifting a little bit to your right foot, shifting to the right, extending the arms. Right arm's going to wrap around the right shin, left hand's going to come down behind you. Okay, maybe you can find fingers. Hook, another bind. Okay, we're going to release the bind, re-extend the arms. Bring both hands to the floor in front. Lean into hands, crow, okay, or your variation of crow. Okay, just leaning into the hands is perfect. The feet can stay on the ground. If you're floating, hold that for a second and then return to the ground with both feet. Hop or step back into plank pose. Come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're floating both feet back up to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet into forward fold. Inhale, extending spine. Your exhale to fold. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Coming all the way up. We're going right into the second side. Eagle. Arms come down, paying attention to right arm. Right arm will come down and behind or underneath the left, crossing at the elbows. There's your X. Flip the palms up. Bend elbows to reach up, wrap up the arms.
Little bend of the knees. Shift weight into left foot. Core engagement. Pick up right foot, cross right over left. Wrap it up as you're able. Maybe an exhale to squeeze a little tighter, like you just took a wet towel and you're just wringing it out. We're stepping out of the pose. Uncross the leg, but step the right foot way back behind you into the lunge. Then unwrap the arms, the freeing of the body. Release the bind. Reverse the warrior. Left hand reaching into the sky. Then side angle, left hand down. Right hand up into the sky. Opening it up there. First bind, right hand down behind you. Stay there if you'd like, or take second bind. There, yes. Inhale, re-extend the arms, release the bind, extend the arms floor to ceiling. Turn, let's bring the hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose. Shortcut, downward facing dog. Yogi squat, hop forward, landing with feet wide, toes turned out, knees bent, hips come down. You can be on tiptoes if you need to. Arms to the inner legs, palms together at heart, extended spine. Shifting a little bit to the left, extending the arms here, so right hand will be up. This left arm will wrap around the left shin in front of the leg, right hand down behind you. Okay, touching or not touching. For our half garland binding position. We're going to release it. Extending the arms, bring the hands down to the floor in front, lean into the hands. Okay, for your version of crow, take the full crow or partial crow. Love it. Yes, good balancing there. Yeah, firefly. Okay. Toes can come back down, step back. Plank pose if maybe you're in the crow and you can hop out of it. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. Okay, we're going to go back down to the floor. So you can kneel down. Maybe come to hero briefly. Sit off to the side, swing the legs around to the front. Now scoot way forward. I'm going to give you some options here. So scoot way forward so you're kind of in the front third of your mat perhaps. All right, we're just going to take, let me show you this. So we're going to take an inverted posture. So you can really you could just lie down and take legs in the air. Okay, this is one option. There's many options, but here's one. Another option is maybe come to this bridge pose prep. Lift hips, get a block underneath you and sit on it, and then extend the legs, okay? Another option is to take shoulder stand, a little variation of shoulder stand, where your hands are at the belt line, and you really can just kind of sit in the hands. This is nice because it doesn't put a lot of strain in the neck. Even though you're not in a straight line up and down, that's okay. You can be here, or if you'd like, bringing hands to mid-back, and take the legs all the way up. Now for me, without support, I really need a blanket for support for this, because you can hear my voice. I'm kind of trapped in my own throat. I really can't breathe here. Okay. But from there, you can take that to plow. Okay. So some versions of that. So if you do take that full shoulder stand, if you need that padding, using a blanket, it's nice to have a blanket behind you there. Alrighty? So finding your inverted pose. Again, lots of versions, even some beyond what I just demonstrated there. Lying down, feet in the air, sit on a block, feet in the air. A supported shoulder stand, or a full shoulder stand, or something of variance there. Nice. Yeah, since your feet are free, maybe a little circling of the ankles. Flexing the feet, point your toes. Yeah, even some movement in the legs if the legs have a little freedom.
I sometimes do some little bicycle pedaling to get into the knee joints and hips if you have that availability. Good. And wherever you are, we're going to see if we can bind the legs. See if you can create eagle legs. See if you can create eagle legs. Okay? Doesn't matter which way you wrap first. Okay? So you can just kind of wrap up the legs here. Okay? You might need to bend the knees a whole lot. Okay? You might just be kind of crossing at the shins. Just kind of wrapping up the legs. You do this in shoulder stand, but feel free to come out of shoulder stand if you've been there a little too long. You do this lying on your back or propped on a block. Let's go ahead and unwrap the legs, wrap the other way. Nice. Good. Let's go ahead and unwind or unwrap that. You're going to slowly make your way back down to the earth. Okay, so whatever version of your inversion you're in, just make your way back down to the earth. Lie all the way down, legs out front, arms down by your side like you're doing Shavasana, but we're going to set up for fish pose, fish. Okay, so here, lying on the floor, arms down by your side, what you'll do, you're going to get your straight arms underneath your body. You may need to lift one side, slide an arm, keep it straight underneath you, then do the other side. Okay, you have to kind of squeeze the shoulder blades together. You'll end up sitting on your hands, palms down, and then point your toes just to energize the legs a little bit. And then if you just kind of dig into the floor with the elbows, lift your upper body, just raise yourself up out of the ground. And then tip the chin or head back so you can see the wall behind you. If you're able, set the crown of your head lightly on the ground. You might be propped up high enough where the head doesn't touch the ground, you're not near the ground, but you are creating the back bend. So fish pose. There you go. Yeah, nice versions of this. Good. 3 more breaths here. There's some energy in this heart opening, lengthening, perhaps some opening. Okay. If your head is tipped back, you're going to lift the head up off the ground, tip the chin in towards neck, lie the head back down. If your arms are underneath you, release the arms out from underneath you. Pause there in a preview to Shavasana for a moment. Yeah, take a breath. Okay. We're going to continue, but you can stay here a little longer if you'd like. You're going to hug both knees into chest. Maybe another hip opener. Choose the hip opener that you would like to do. Okay, it could be a happy baby pose. It could be a reclining cobbler's pose, bound angle. Yeah, that eye of the needle pose is nice. Take your time here, and when you feel complete with your hip opener, move into a twist. You might hug both knees into chest when you're ready, and send the knees maybe down to the left side to begin, knees to the left as you extend your right arm to the right side of the room, creating that rotation in the spine, a little opening in the hips as well. Yeah. Noticing the breath. Maybe you're able now to take those slow, deep breaths like you did at the beginning of your practice. Yeah, just checking in. Maybe one more breath on this side. You can certainly stay here longer. But when you're ready, return to center. Pause there for a second. And then sending knees to the other side. Knees to the left. Or knees to the right, left hand to the left. more breaths. When you're ready to move, just return to center and then just guide your body into Shavasana or any other restorative position. So you might just lie flat on your back, arms down by your side, or you brought in some props to elevate your feet and legs, or something soft underneath your head. You might even lie on your side if you'd like. You can even come up to seated if you'd like. Just find that comfortable space and settle in. Eyes can remain open, just kind of gazing upward into nothingness. Or close your eyes and take your journey inside. A moment of meditation. Perhaps return to your intention. What our work today did for you. Releasing any binds. Return to the awareness of your breath. Just simply stay connected to your breath. Again, a return to the awareness of your breath. This time taking 5 slow, deep breaths. Intentional breathing. Feeling movement slowly return to your body. Noticing how the breath is moving freely throughout your entire body. Perhaps you opened up spaces within you that were bound up tightly. Send that new, fresh pranic energy into these newly opened spaces. When you feel movement has returned, take your time and slowly roll onto either side of your body, just moving into a nurturing pose. It might resemble a fetal position. You certainly could just stay on your back if you'd like. Another breath or two here. And And still moving in slow motion, just guiding your way up to seated. And once you're here, just sitting up nice and tall, lengthened spine, your shoulders relaxed, arms and hands down by your side or in your lap for a moment. You can keep them there, or even bring hands to heart center. Take another breath in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow saying, Namaste.